Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Sunrise Parabellum Tournament. Today we've got a trio of Soulstorm games between Mad and Clown Magic. Representing the team Clown Magic, we have got Q-Ken as the Eldar, and playing as the Orcs, we've got D-Star representing Mad. So, these two teams have already gone up against each other in the unification games, so if you've not watched that, please do give that a watch, as there will be spoilers in the opening of this video as I chatter about while these guys set themselves up for the war that is to come. So you have been warned. So yeah, the Clown Magic has already got a 2-1 lead against the Team Mad. So from a very unexpected, I do have to say. So we'll have to see if D-Star can claw his way back for his team to be on the up and up. Orcs versus Eldar, quite an even match, I do have to say. Both armies or factions, shall we say, have got some reasonable responses to all their openings. We're going to see the Joe Biden opening from Q-Ken, going for those... Oh no, sorry, not the Joe Biden opening, just one singular Dark Reaper before going into a Farseer, which I imagine, as the Orcs always do, will be probably going for... There we go, going for that big mech. So that Mind War will be crucial in taking that bad boy down. Going to see triple Sluggers, so planning to capture everything as soon as humanly possible. Sluggers now going to be moving over onto this side, hoping to maybe potentially get some harassment done. If not, at least capture these critical locations. Big Mech will probably soon be joining them. Orcs very keen on getting their blue money econ game up ASAP, which with those triple sluggers, that's exactly what they do. But actually, double sluggers on either side, so attacking from two prongs. That's quite exciting. Go and see the mighty Clown Magic flag being taken down by the sluggers as the Pink Guardians try and fend them off. Over in the distance, we're seeing the sluggers attempting to do the same. Now going to raise that mighty French cockerel up in the air. Have some Dark Reapers. Fleet of footing in, going to be opening fire on these slugger boys. These guys will have to run away quick, sharpish. Oh, no, never mind, they're just going to reposition themselves. Never say never. We'll give it a go. Farseer now going to come in and throwing a big boom on these guys. Not sure if it was entirely warranted, considering it was just one squad of slugger boys. Big Mech now going to chase away these, well, chase around these Dark Reapers. More slugger boys now moving in. Big Mech looking to see if he can join these lads by the looks of things. For a whole smorgasbord of shuriken fire comes in. Mind War goes on the Big Mech, doing a sizable amount of damage for him. Farseer staying nice and close to him so he doesn't break that connection. But they've got the decaps. They've also stopped this from capping as well. From just pure distraction at the very least. Oh, nice little use of positioning the Farseer around this way to get the knockbacks this way. Also a guide going on those Dark Reapers, increasing their accuracy. Have you gone for your Exarch? You have not gone for your Exarch as of yet. But really nice placement from the Farseer there. Nice stuff. Big Mech keeping away. Waiting for that opening. Gonna see a Relic uncapped by anyone, but to be honest, they're probably not going to try and cap it. Takes a while. Bit of a surround on the Farseer. She does a big China plate, knocking everyone backwards. The Big Mech is probably a little bit outmanned and outgunned. Yes, he's probably going to go back home now. Looking at the base, I mean, yeah, it might not be the most successful early aggression in the world, but it's managed to allow D-Star to get all the listing posts and a couple of upgrades too. And never mind that, actually. Big Mech decides to jump straight back in. And just more harassment, just denying that economy for as long as humanly possible, though he has used his jumping juice, so him getting out of this situation alive. Not sure if he's able to do it. Going to detach himself from the slugger boys before reattaching. I'm gonna go on, leave. Be a family man. This is not your time now. You've done your bit. You've done your best. Got some more slugger boys in there. I suppose at this stage, they've done their capping, they've done the harassment. You can now kind of just throw these slugger boys into the meat grinder. Free up some of that population. Although 35 at the moment. Are you building up some more? Ah, you're on the cusp of tier 2 already. It's quite fast for the Orcs. Another Bind War going on that Big Mech. So him being punished for staying for a little bit too long in the Eldar base, but that's fine. He's still on the yellow health, so he's not too desperate. Be quite safe if you stick him in there with the shooter boys. Get some big shooters on them and stay away from all the argy-bargy for the moment. Another squad of Dark Reapers out. looking to capture that relic, and they do indeed get that. Listening Shrine, soon to be built on top. Slugger Boys, not really going to stand up all that well against the Farseer and a Dark Reaper squad. Now, with double Dark Reapers, Orcs do have an option in for going for some Storm Boys, although he's just quite content just staying with these Sluggers. In Tier 2 now, so maybe a quick transition into vehicle play might be the way forward. Are the Eldar even sniffing at Tier 2 at the moment? What's their economy like? They've got the money for it. Or at least, I mean, they've hold on, actually, no, they've got a little bit lacking in the green money. They actually need a lot more blue money, he says. These Slugger Boys being backed into a corner. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Quickly stricken down. And double, fully upgraded squads of Dark Reapers, or fully reinforced, shall I say. But the Farsi are very low on health at the moment. They're probably going to be suffering. There we go, the big mech shop on the way. Oh, not the big mech, just the regular mech. Slugger Boys over here, just being a bit of a nuisance. Keeping these guys distracted. Looking at one orcish hand, while the other one primes itself for punching. Gonna go for a war truck. And in all honesty, actually, war trucks, if they go up against double Dark Reapers, once they get their enhanced optics, even though these guys aren't necessarily anti-vehicle lads, they do a fair smorgasbord of damage against them. If left to their own devices, obviously. Big Mech, another Mind Wall going down, quite low on health. On par with the Eldar Farseer. Stormboy's not going to come in. Hopefully tie these guys up. Stormboys, though they are heavy infantry, they are still quite fragile, all things considered. War Track being popped. And ready to move in for some firing support. Got some Guardians over here, not wanting to get involved in any shenanigans. And the Orcs are amassing in number. What's your blue money situation now? 104 and 30 compared to 98 and 30. So Eldar have a slight blue money advantage, but it doesn't seem like they're really gaining all that much from it. Stormboys now looking to see if they can get some mischief done in the base. Second war truck coming out. And yeah, this is not a brilliant situation for the Eldar. Big Mech going to be chunking down that listing shrine there. Soul Shrine being popped there. You're going for any upgrades. You are going to go... enhanced optics. There we go. So once that comes out to play, the Dark Reaper should certainly be able to mulch and mash these green skins. Also going to go for some fire dragons to counteract those war trucks. It's not really gaining all that much in the way of an advantage in that early tech up. Needs to be a potential a little bit more aggressive. Quadruple burn singers. That's a lot of burn singers. Considering Harlequin out as well, which is an ideal counter against the Storm Boys. They jump in trying to bash around these Dark Reapers. Harlequin then comes in and makes them regret and rue the day that they ever came so close. Fire Dragons on the front lines. We do have some Grots coming in for some sick repairs. Also a War Track as well, for that knockback potential of the Bomb Chucker once it gets upgraded. Showboy's jumping in. Where's the Harlequin? Can't seem to see her. Has she been killed already? Looks like it. You'd normally see a portrait, maybe. Oh, no, she's down here. She's doing alright. She's doing fine. Killing all the Grots, she was. Stormboy's been left to their own devices, absolutely murderizing these Dark Reapers. Fire Dragons not being able to get too many shots off on these war trucks. The Guardians attempting to capture that strategic point. Big Mech has gone down by the looks of things. Stormboy's coming in for another pass. Going straight for those Fire Dragons. Do have a upgraded listing shrine, so will make their assault a little bit not great. And they will fall back. Going to teleport over here and go for those decaps, which is a fair thing for them to do. Other squad of Guardians over here will be pestered by the... Oh no, they won't be pestered. They'll just be having their critical location decapped. So a relatively good defense has to be said. Do quite like that Harlequin being used to kill all those Grots. if those grots weren't taken care of, those war trucks would have been a real problem. Especially with those Storm Boys screening the advance. Double war truck's going to be showing this listing shrine a thing or two. There's this mass of Eldar really struggling to path their way around this lake here. Got Burnsinger teleporting in, going to straight away rebuild that listing shrine. Over here we've got the Storm Boys coming in, causing these Guardians a whole series of headaches. In fact, a full squad wipe there. And the war truck having a ganders, Mr. Anders. These guys have still not been taken care of. A little bit of indecisiveness from Kukin here. Needs to commit to one side or the other. I mean, you don't really need the Dark Reapers coming over on this side of its only war trucks. You can kind of just send your Fire Dragons over here to deal with them. Big Mech now out to play once again. Going to see a second squad of Fire Dragons. And the war trucks not too keen, but we do have these infiltrated grots now. Storm Boys teleporting around the ridge. Looking to slap up some Dark Reapers, but there's two squads here. Can't tire both of them if there's only one here. So full squad wipe incoming by the looks of things. Fire Dragons turn their attention to the war trucks. Big Mech trying to take care of them, slapping around one lady before throwing her asunder. One war truck goes down. Full squad wipe for the Storm Boys right there. He says, "Oh no, never mind, you survived to live another day. Well done, boys." The Eldar very much on the defensive here. What could they do in this position? I mean, they haven't really got all that much. I imagine one thing that they could do, if they had the support portal out, is that they could get a Falcon Grav Tank, stick a Fire Dragon or two in there, and move around and just keep them to take care of these war trucks. Or at the very least do some maybe counter base harassment. You only really need these two double Dark Reapers and one Fire Dragon. You could take one of your Fire Dragons in that not support portal, God, I just said what its name was. The Falcon Grav Tank. Stick him in there and do some counter base play. And that way it would force the Orc to play a little bit more defensive, if you so chose. A more choppy research. Which, to be fair, it's quite late upgrade for that choppy research. You would normally see that a lot earlier when you've got a Storm Boy squad out. But I suppose they were concentrating on getting these war trucks ASAP on the way. Nob squad now out. Teleporting in. These guys don't die easy. 8 models, 7,500 health. Enough to make you question yourself and your life choices. Yeah, these war tracks taking a lot of damage, even while being repaired by the grots. Not quite able to get them there. Nob's going to chase these guys away. Dark Reapers regaining their numbers while trying to recap that strategic point. Got some Guardians over here. I mean, maybe even some grenades might be a good idea for the Guardians at this point. Although, in saying that, might have probably been better earlier on in the game when they were just Slugger Boys. I imagine that the Nobs are probably able to shrug off a good amount of damage from the grenades that the Eldar can have. Storm Boys now coming around the side once again. The tried and tested hammer and anvil strategy. Fire Dragons losing their morale. Got another Harlequin coming out to play. Previous one already here, still in the mix. Trying to get some good swings in there. The Storm Boys with the more choppy research. That Nob leader having that power claw, but being taken down. Looked like as if he was almost shot by his own rockets there. The Eldar on the ridge. They've got a support platform out now. Or support portal, sorry. And they are going to go for that Falcon Grav Tank. Look at that. I have a rough idea of what I'm talking about, but is it too little too late? This is a sizable amount of knobs. More knobs than any Eldar would like to see. And, yeah, it's just... That's all they really need at the moment. Probably spent a lot of money on this. In what knobs are 45 and 10. So not a cheap investment from the Orc perspective. Going to just crump their way through Guardian and Fire Dragon are like, oh no, it's just Fire Dragons. We're not pushing directly into the base, just going to focus on that economy. Double Dark Reapers coming on that Falcon Grav tank. And these knobs, no matter what they want to do, won't be able to catch these guys if the micro is on point. So one negative about the knobs. Not really great against mobile targets. The numbers are dropping quite quickly, but they do have the option of jumping into a war truck of their own. But they're not going to do it. They don't fancy walking. Or driving, sorry. Like the feel of good, honest, Fata Morga sand beneath their feet. So, oh, there we go. The old dozy-dur. The old rope-a-dope. Just when you think they're done, they come for another pass. Almost getting a squad wipe there. And the war trucks and the war tracks killing one squad of Dark Reapers there. Fire Dragons here, low on models, but so are these knobs. It's a really desperate defense here. Fire Dragons unable to really get that much in the way of damage towards the intended targets. Falcon Grav tank gets out of there just with a sliver of health. I'm just going to try and chase these guys around, leaving these Fire Dragons to their own devices. Giving them a chance to go for these guys, but the morale's been broken. So their damage is going to be a bit moot. A Wraith Lord coming out. We should be able to hold up against the Knob Leader, as well as his Knobs. Not sure how good that Power Claw is against vehicles. I imagine it's probably quite good, in all fairness. Wraith Lord now going to go for that Bright Lance. So he can punch infantry in the face, while as stabbing the vehicles at range. Anything else? We're going to see some Warp Spiders. Now, Warp Spiders will take a bit of time to get properly online. One squad of Warp Spiders, it's fine. Two squads of Warp Spiders, it's pretty good. But the ideal number is that 3 stack. If you can get all 3 fully equipped, fully uploaded, teleport them in, they can focus down one squad of heavy infantry without even breaking a sweat. Have you cancelled them? Does look like it. I don't bring out anything else quite tasty. Gonna bring... oh, some tank busters. Oh, it's... you normally see tank busters much earlier than this. These grots really earning their pay. Double squad of grots over here. Tank zapper going on. Wraith Lord unable to retreat from the tank busters as they reload and fire salvo after salvo at the lad himself. Gonna start shimming and shaking away. But sadly, if the Orcs can hit him, that is. There we go. Hit him eventually, if you fire enough rockets. The Warp Spider's being rebuilt. Or, well, not necessarily rebuilt, just... they're going to go for it this time. I was going to teleport straight in. Trying to focus on the Knob Squad. Falcon Grav tank also coming in. Quite like how he's dedicating all his fighting forces to one wing. May as well try and go for the side of combat that you might actually be able to win. Which I'm not sure actually against the full squad of Knobs. But then if he went over this way, the big mech could have just probably just teleported in. So it's a careful gambit while he's on the back foot. It's been a gradual grinding for the Eldar in this game. Can't have been very pleasant to play. Requiring a lot of concentration from Kuken and Clown Magic here. And Kuken says the GG. Yeah, that was quite a difficult game for Kuken there. I do have to say it was. I mean, I really appreciate that he was able to hold on for as long as he did. Like I say, probably a really nail-biting game from his perspective there. But okay, cool, so he surrenders. We shall move on to game 2. Alright, so with dealer's choice, Kuken has gone for Blood River, and after seeing that D-Star went for Necrons, he has gone for Chaos. So I imagine his reasoning for choosing this map and for D-Star choosing Necrons is probably because it's quite a small map. We're seeing this Chaos Temple being instantly built up as quickly as humanly possible. Going to go for some Chaos Space Marines. So I imagine he's probably just going to walk them straight over and try and do as much damage as humanly possible. We've also got quite a lot of heavy cover on the wings around the relics that the Chaos player can make advantage of. We've got to keep in mind that that negative cover in the centre is also going to be a little bit of a liability for him. Necron's going to be building up as pretty much standard. They're not expecting any early game aggression, but it is currently 1-0 to the Mad team. God, why was that so difficult to say? Also, a million bajillion cultists, so I imagine this Chaos squad is just going to go in and kind of do what the Orcs did in the last game and just, not necessarily like a game-ending kind of harassment, but just enough to keep their economy on the back foot while they go about and do things. Jeez, I'm going to have to stop cultists. Stop talking for 5 bloody minutes. Here we go, Chaos Space Marines coming in. Having a look at these Bill of Scarabs. They're not going to be staying around capturing that strategic point anytime soon. We see an obelisk on this, well, a fortified obelisk on this obelisk. And just capping at that 4 plasma generators while waiting for one singular squad of Necrons to come out. I imagine a Ghost turret will probably be a good idea as well. One squad of Necrons on the way. And I do quite like how the colour scheme kind of makes them look a bit Napoleonic in the sense that they've got their blue jackets and their white trousers. Amazing stuff. These guys have been knocked around by Obelisk and Necron alike, and both relics being captured by the cultists here. It's a very aggressive expansion. Chaos Space Marine is not really getting all that much done. In all honesty, in fact, losing a couple of models in that engagement there. Necron Warriors really bringing to shame those who fight in the long war. Second squad of Necron Warriors coming out and a 5th plasma generator on the way. And these Builder Scouts look longingly at this relic. You'll see a Chaos Lord for Kukin coming round. And to be honest, those Builder Scouts probably won't want to try and decap a relic while there's a Chaos Lord about. Even with just his pistol, it can still do a sizable amount of damage. One Builder Scout already taken down, a second soon to follow. Necron Warriors are going to come over here. 2 versus 1, not a bad plan. The Chaos Lord is going to fall back. Cultist in hot pursuit as well. Might even potentially be wiped out here. And he's going to go for that double reinforce. Going to run in the bipolar opposite direction of him. Oh, that's unfortunate. Unable to hold back those Necron Warriors. Over here, we have got some cultists being a real pain in the backside. Down the centre of the Dark River. Or the Blood River, sorry. And the Bill Scouts just kind of sniffing around at this listening post. Just glad to be there, man. Glad to be there. Chaos Space Marines over here see that their Chaos Lord is a little bit alone in the world. So we'll come over and offer some firing support. Necron Lord has just been spawned. Will help with the mobile defense. And a reinforcing squad of Chaos Space Marines as well. Very tier 1 heavy is Kukin going at the moment. Necrons soon to have a squad wipe there. You really don't want to see that from the Necron perspective. It takes you a while to... I mean, yeah, of course, those Necron Warriors are free, but it does take up valuable monolith space. Haven't got that summoning core up and available yet. So their ability to teleport away is non-existent at the moment. Necron Lord, where are you? Oh, you're over here just doing some minor harassment. A gradual shaving of that listening post. And it's hard to see what the Necrons are going to do to come back from this. They've got a sizable amount of Chaos Space Marines in the base. Necron Warriors quite low on models at the moment. Trying to get those reinforcings in, but the economy isn't at constant reinforcement rate at the moment. Chaos Lord going to go toe-to-toe with the Necron Lord. Necron Lord going to try and ignore him and just focus on the Chaos Space Marines here. Got a bunch of obelisks firing away in the centre. Chaos Space Marines over here losing their morale. The Chaos Lord not going to give up on them. Might even potentially go for a squad wipe, but a third squad of Chaos Space Marines here. But all the morale being broken. Not able to really do all that much damage if there is not much for them to believe in. Necron Lord really causing these guys some issues. Not necessarily off the damage front, but just a minor annoyance. Cultists over here have also been upgraded to full, well, almost full, just -2, their maximum number. Chaos Warrior being shish kebabbed in the air as the Necron Warriors start to gain en masse, going to go for their disruption fields. These obelisks, that cooldown on that strike isn't that long, is it? We're doing all right, 55% and 70 compared to 98 and 10. And I do believe that he's got enough amount of green money to go for that tier 2 if he chose, once his blue money catches up. He's spending a lot of it on keeping his Chaos Space Marines alive. Got to go for those obelisks, but obelisks aren't really an amazing target if your targets are limited, well, if you've got a limited amount of time to fight. As those obelisks only cost 25 green money, which isn't an amazingly expensive building, all things considered. Chaos Space Marines over here falling back after giving up and taking down the obelisk. Flayed ones and tier 2 on the way for Necrons, and now it is looking a little bit dire for the Chaos Space Marines. Disruption field has popped, and at the moment there are no upgrade listing posts in the Chaos base, so being punished for staying in that tier 1, or at least focusing on it. Gonna see an aspiring champion, but nowhere near tier 2 money at the moment. Can't possibly get a heavy bolter or two just to assist them with this. Necrons are going to push back, but the Flayed Ones jumping around the backside. Necron Warriors now going to return their attention over onto this side. Wonderful timings, but not sure if the Necron Warriors have the amount of mass required to stand up. Flayed One's only got one direction to go in, and that is forward. The pink of the Chaos Space Marines soon to be turned red. The gushing of blood and vitae. Or vitae. Depends how you say it. You know, I mean, some people say potato, other people say potato. It's entirely how you fancy it. Necron Monolith, soon to be tier 2, another squad of Flayed Ones to replace the ones that they lost. And actually, the Necrons did lose a fair whack of things there. We've got one squad of Necrons left. Gonna go for that Forbidden Archive. I imagine in this, going up against this army, the standard fare is probably the best. With the Solar Pulse... Palantir? No, that's Sauron. Or Saruman or whatever. The blooming Phylactery, that's the one. And the Phase Shift. Okay, Space Marines now going to go for a different tact. Rather than go all the way around this way and get shot by both of them, going to move over onto this side. Doing the same. Necron Lord just kind of walked around the backside, stood behind him, started firing like as if he was one of the boys. Day 75 been a Chaos Space Marine and no one seemed to notice. The Flayed Ones shambling across the river, frag grenade going into the centre of these warriors. Didn't seem to knock any of them over there. Oh no, Wraith. Ooh, a Wraith is a great idea. I don't see enough Wraiths being used to counter big blobs of infantry. Yeah, certainly will, especially since these... what are they called? The aspiring champions have got a plasma pistol on them. And quite often people underestimate the power of an aspiring champion, or any hero, well, sergeants or leaders of units, when they get those extra weapons out. Necrons risking themselves being flanked here. Wraith unsure of where he wants to go in life. There we go, he's made his choice. The Necron Lord really earning his keep here, but quite low in health at the moment. Might potentially be going down in this engagement. No, it will teleport away just in the nick of time. Boys over here now. Alone in the world. Does not look like they're able to teleport away. The solar pulse coming down. Giving these guys a little bit of rest and respite. For teleporting away himself into the mist. Wraiths in the middle and flayed ones shuffling over as quickly as their little mechanical legs will carry them. Phase shift on the Wraiths to keep them safe from a distance. I do quite like how the flayed ones kind of like naturally just form themselves into a triangle quite often. Further proof that the Illuminati is indeed among us. Look at the economies, 92 and 10 compared to 75% and 80. Let's start seeing some destroyers. And have we gone for that tier 2? We have not. That is very unfortunate. What kind of economy you got on? Yes, having to have to spend so much on that tier 1. It's completely neglected this tier 2. So these destroyers are going to come out and have a whale old time here. No one's going to be stopping these guys anytime soon unless they proper focus fire down on him. And that seems to be what they intend to do. But the Bill Scabs can just come over and... Oh, well, look at that. Never mind. John Cena been ruining their fun. Like a rainy day on your picnic. Over on this corner, we do have a Wraith. Now just be a nuisance. Again, without these upgrades on the listing posts, we're a lot harder to defend them. Listing post over on the northern side being upgraded for Q-Ken. And tier 2 finally on its way. 2 destroyers now. Need to make the most out of their technological advancement while they can. Flayed one's jumping in. That's unfortunate that they went for this one rather than this one. But it is usually the easier one to take on this map in particular. Chaos Spaceman's going to move in, see if they can get some pot shots off. The Destroyer's going to reposition themselves, seeing if they can fend off Chaos Space Marines for as long as they can. Double Wraiths now coming in as well as a third Destroyer to complete the ensemble. And yeah, these guys are dying as fast as you like, quick as you please. Unable to really do anything. They're going to fall back and try and regain their numbers before re-engaging, I imagine. But they have, not the heavy destroyers. Oh, I don't mean to fat shame, sorry, but regular old destroyers are going to prevent them from regaining their numbers. Going to keep on top of them. Don't want a chaos rising of any description. A horror squad on the way. Will it be out in time there? As the destroyers now start turning their attention to anything organic. Listing post on its way out. Getting a good few shots on the Necron Lord, I imagine. But nothing you can't handle. Another beam comes down. Another day, another dollar in the Necron Lord world. And the horrors have been teleported round the back. Which makes sense. You don't want them around the enemy's front back line, sorry, as that's where the flayed ones are most likely to get you. Necron Lord teleports straight in. So it doesn't matter where they are on this side of the conflict, they'll be constantly harassed and harried unless that Necron Lord can be taken out. But as the game goes on, Necron Lords are hard and harder to take. And Q-Ken, seeing the writing on the wall, throws out that GG once again. So that's 2-0 to Mad in the Soulstorm games, with an overall 3-2 in the tournament versus Clown Magic and D-Star. So, not Clown Magic and D-Star, he's not a man on his own, is he? Mad in general. So, okay, alright, well, I guess the next game will decide whether Clown Magic ends on a draw with Mad, or whether Mad pull away in a roundhouse stomp in Soulstorm. I'll see you there. Okay then, so here we are on Titanfall. Map choice once again by Q-Ken as being the loser of the last round. He saw D-Star going for his tried and tested Orcs and decided to counterpick them with some Space Marines, which is certainly an interesting choice. And he's going for a good amount of scouts, as well as quick building up that Chapel Barracks. And we have seen the Orcs and Space Marines play on this map before. It's been a while in Soulstorm specifically, but the Space Marines do all right in the mid-game on this map just because of how many different avenues and corridors you can work with. Once the Space Marines get into that tier 2 and start getting their rhinos out, they've got options, man. They've got things that they can bring. Orcs, however, shooter boys stand. I mean, there's only really, like I said a bajillion million times before, there's only two options really for the Orcs. You have a quick build your shooters after your big mech, or you go for your storm boys. We're going to see some shooter boys before the big mech by the looks of things. And a bit of a crazy, what are you doing, double servitors? Not going for your initial... Are we seeing like some sort of rush? What's the plan, Cuke and Stan? Are you going to build some turrets over here, maybe? I have to wait and see. It's surprising that it's gone for this many scouts moving so far apart. And going for a chapel is... So, as we've been watching these games, I've been providing some, at least hopefully semi-insightful commentary. I don't have any insightful commentary for this build. He's building up a listing post up here with his 2 servitors. Have you built up any plasma generators? No, you have not. So, interesting. Over here we've got some scouts. I've capped this strategic point, but instantly losing it. And now we're going to have to fall back from these shooter boys. So not time well spent, it has to be said. Maybe the stress of it all, the combat fatigue is setting into Kukin here. He's going to send his force commander into the middle of combat. And the scouts are going to engage in close combat with these shooter boys, as these scout marines go up against the slugger boys. Pound for pound though, the scouts aren't going to be winning any kinds of major engagements. Not without any kind of sniper rifle training or some flamers, just to lower the morale of the Orcs somewhat. Big Mac going to teleport over here with some shooters, seeing if he can get a squad wipe on these guys. I might potentially at least get an almost one. Grot's going to come in. Oh, go on, get him. Get him, there we go. Before jumping into that listing post. Listing post tier 2 as well, going to go as well. Yeah, very peculiar opening. And what have you got to show for it? You haven't really got an amazing economy. You are going to go for some Space Marines, but nothing that you wouldn't have been able to get if you just opened like a normal human being. Although I suppose Clown Magic, they do not follow the Codex Astartes. They do not subscribe to Roberto Gilliman's way of thinking. Gonna see these Orcs here, gonna go for that critical location. And the big mech with his shooter boy is gonna now start giving these guys a taste of their own medicine. The sting post being crumped as quick as you like. Space Marines leading their scouts into battle. I mean, and they will win the engagement because they've got the numbers, but Big Mech can just teleport away if that teleport is on cooldown. Or off cooldown, sorry. A mighty for the Emperor is called out. Those boys in spanking pink ride forward. There we go, like I said, Big Mech just teleports away. No trouble for him. And what is the Space Marine plan at the moment? He's got a skull probe as well, so maybe potentially also going to have a look for those infiltrated grots. Although, are you infiltrated? You are not. Well, hell's bells. Slugger boys over here, a little bit alone in the world. Big Mech going to come back over for some defensive purposes. Shooter boys over here, going to go for their big shooters, which will be very lethal against all these unupgraded Space Marines and Scout Marines. Won't take them long at all to drop a couple of models. Big shooters over here as well, so double shooter boy squads. Space Marines with no real avenue of retreat. Going to have to fall back under fire or commit to a assault. Scouts dying as quick as you like. Space Marines charging into close combat with a big mech in that squad unit. And Force Commander trying to do the same over here, but not quite able to catch up with them. We'll just try and maneuver past these Orcs, but sadly no, he's been backed to a corner. And the big mech gives him a good old pounding before tossing his corpse aside. Quite emotional, boys and girls. That's quite a lot of stuff to lose as well. Gonna get a replacement. I'm gonna get... now we're gonna get for some sniper training. After he's gone for a plasma generator. 86 and 10 compared to 104 and 20. Yeah, this game is looking to be quite potentially one-sided here. Need to see some big players coming out from Kukin. He's got a second squad of Space Marines here. No upgrades on him, as the armory is not up, but maybe just their mass and number at least withstand those big shooters. Oh dear, that's not a good sign. So when I said earlier on that Orcs really have kind of like two strategies, usually it's either big shooters or storm boys, but with D-Star being so far ahead, he may as well just open it with birth. As Hannah Montana once said, you get the best of both worlds. You're chilling out, you take it slow, and then you rock out the shirt. Loved Hannah Montana as a kid. Very wholesome program. I think. I actually remember nothing of it. But I liked the song, goddammit. Anyway, these Orcs not feeling too great about the situation. Grots on the arse end of a firing pit. The Storm Boys come in, see their sniper rifles on the Scout Marines. They were doing a really good job at beating up these shooter boys, but now both squads been tied up in their entirety, allowing the Space Marines a little bit of freedom to, or the shooter boys a little bit of freedom to move forward and fire back. More snipers going to be summoned onto these two squads here. Yeah, he had no idea that those Storm Boys were coming. If he did, he probably wouldn't have gone for those sniper rifles. Slugger Boys over here causing a real nuisance as well. And Kukin, sadly, throws out the GG a little bit earlier than all the other games. Very odd opening. Not sure how familiar he was with the Space Marines, or whether he was just thinking of just a race to go up against the Orcs. But yeah, that does mean that Team Mad is currently 2-4. Oh, sorry, they're currently 4-2 against Clown Magic. But yeah, cool, nice one. So we've got all the other teams to play for, as well as Clown Magic and Mads to play against all the other remaining teams. Gonna wait for those games to come in. They will be coming in thick and fast, I am fairly certain. So yeah, so just keep your eye out for future games. They'll all be added to the playlist anyway, so that'll be good stuff. What else do I have to say? I always forget what to say at this stage of the game. Yeah, if you like the channel, feel free to support it by giving us £1 on Patreon. £1 a month does get you one extra game a week of the old Dawn of War and stuff. And there is also a Discord where all the cool things happen. Man's been Mr. Landshark. Pleasure as always, never chop. I will see you in a bit. Peace.